That helped too, having a player that was, knew what he liked.
I never questioned it for like a half a second.
Last week, we traveled to the just gorgeous Maui Island in Hawaii, where we saw all the new equipment that the top players in the world brought out for their 2025 debut.
The star of the show is the Super Stroke Hawaii-themed grip.
Super Stroke often makes custom commemorative grips, and for this week, they played into the Hawaii pineapple theme. Here was a surprise for the Scotty Cameron fans. We got a first look at a bunch of tour prototypes for 2025. 2024 champion Chris Kirk was given the honor of planting a koa tree, which can grow up to 100 feet. We saw Xander with the new Callaway Elite Triple Diamond driver. And on the other side of the golf ball, we saw Akshay with the Callaway Elite Standard version, and Callaway Tour rep Kellen Watson gave us some insight into the Elite lineup.
Spin dispersion from top to bottom is very, very good on this one too. The speed is just as fast as the Triple Diamond. The thermo-forged carbon crown on everything, just kind of letting us put the CG in places that we might not have before.
We saw Hideki rip drivers before he went on to shoot a record-breaking 35 under par for the week. And finally, in what was maybe the most interesting news of the week, we spoke with Max Homa and Ben Shulman about his switch to Cobra.
We did switch to a full blade pitching wedge, so pitching wedge through 6 is the MB. I was always most concerned ever with switching irons. I knew the driver was good. A bunch of guys at the course I play with use Cobra driver. I figured the wedges were good, and it was really just coming down to the 4 and 5 iron, which were great.
Having the 3D technology, why waste the time trying to get used to something when, we can kind of match where you were at as far as a visual goes and still get a similar or better performance. I mean, having the ability to do that and do it fast was, I think, a game changer, really. The 6-through pitch that are the MBs, being 3D printed, they're obviously different, but I think the 4-iron, the 5-iron, just testing the 4-iron especially, and Max will tell you, I think he was shocked. He always thought it was going further.
Yeah, I told him I didn't want to use this 4 because it felt like a driving iron, and I mean that off the face, it truly felt like a driving iron. It didn't perform like one, it just felt like it was my fairway finding shot. So I kept going to, the CB, and, I would hit that one better, but every time I'd grab this, the 3D limited one, it just was more solid. I just hit it better.
Your yardage carry delta was 3 yards.
Yeah.
With a 4-iron.
With a club that feels like it's coming off really fast, which you would think you'd have a 10-yard, 15-yard dispersion where you might catch one 235 instead of 225, but it doesn't happen. Even the ones I thought I absolutely nuked were going the normal yardage. So yeah, I think it's just the feel of it makes it seem like you are.
With game improvement irons and you have a floating face, you do get those hot shots out of the fairway. But, again, him doing it over and over, and we're seeing the same numbers over and over. The face is obviously fully supported by the 3D, so there's no additional face flex that you would feel any different from, say, a forged golf club.
You don't want to waste time getting used to something. I didn't think of it as some big deal. I mean, we're very spoiled out here. I wasn't expecting somebody just to make an iron that was just exactly what I wanted it to look like, but the fact that within a month, I got to grab a club, and if you honestly asked me for the first week I was using them at home, I would have forgotten what clubs I was hitting as I was hitting balls, because I was also changing coaches and doing all the swing stuff. I would forget that I had a Cobra club in my hand just from looking down, and that was all I was concerned about. Not that I thought it would be a big deal, but it turns that 2 months into a month really quickly if you are getting used to putting a club down and be like, oh, this is what 7-iron is going to look like now. So it just completely mitigated that process, and yeah, I couldn't believe how quickly they were able to do that. And it's definitely something that would be useful in the future too. If you ever wanted to tweak something, that it's possible, and again, there's no learning curve to it. You just get to put it down and it looks how you want it to.
Thanks for tuning in to our recap of the 2025 Sentry in Hawaii. Tune in next week as we head to the American Express in Palm Desert, California.